Mikayla, head coach Scott Rueck.
All right. Well, what a great Pac-12 game today. It was, I mean, conference is here. Every day is going to be an absolute war. And we assumed all you got to do is watch Colorado for a minute and you see how hard they play, how physical they are. That's their identity. They try to impact possessions with pressure. They have the athleticism and the length to impact shots near the basket. And they pride themselves on rebounding, both ends of the floor, offensively and defensively. That team crashed the boards as hard as anybody we've seen so far this year. And it was an awesome challenge for us. Another great crowd in Gill. It didn't surprise me the way the game started. I knew they would be very focused coming off their game the other night. I think that was just a throwaway almost in their minds, and they were going to be ready to get back to the 12-0 team that they were, before that. So it didn't surprise me that they came out as aggressive and confident and fearless as they did. They were shooting threes like crazy from even different people than normal. We're shooting perimeter shots. I think we allowed them to be comfortable early. A lot of it was them, but our defensive intensity in the second quarter was much different than it was the first. That's what I thought started our run, and then it was nice to see us separate and get control of the game in that second quarter. And we're learning on the fly in some ways, having two freshmen out there, like we've said many times. But each of these experiences is new, and this is the most physical team that we've played so far this year, with the exception maybe of a Missouri State. But I think this team's bigger and maybe a little more physical throughout. And so it was a great lesson for us. We learned on the fly, and I love teaching through games. And I thought this team that just kept adapting, to the game and kept rising. We would challenge them in each timeout, and they continued to improve throughout the game. And then it was neat to see us just make the plays to separate in the fourth quarter, and it was a great win for us today.
Mikayla, it was a 4-point game after 3 quarters. It kind of looked, just from your body language, that you felt like you needed to kind of assert yourself in the game and kind of took over there early in the fourth quarter. Am I reading that right? Or?
I don't like close games in the fourth quarter, so I was trying to create as much separation as possible. And Taylor gave me a good screen to hit the jumper to start things off, and then just got a rebound and a putback, and just try to make plays for my team as much as I could.
Scott, were there any parallels to this game with the Liberty game? Fourth quarter was pretty big there. Didn't shoot particularly well this game, that game. Was there any parallels?
Well, I think both teams were really focused. I remember Liberty just being the aggressor, early in that game, and it took us a while to get going. We started the game today with 4 straight turnovers. And you got to give some credit to your opponent. The mistakes were coming from, the youth on our team at the time, but a lot of it was being created by them. And, so I thought that was the case. They were the aggressive team to start the game. That was the same with Liberty, and it took us a while to recalibrate. So from that standpoint, well coached, competitive, and aggressive, So, yeah, those things were the same for sure. I think we're a much different team now than we were then, for sure, as well.
Mikayla, very competitive, physical game. You played all 40 minutes. Do you ever get tired out there? Is the adrenaline just kicking in all the time?
I do get tired, yeah, but you just don't think about that. You think about how you can help your team each possession. And in the off season, our strength and conditioning coach Jeff Macy did a great job of getting us in good shape. And we have 3-hour practice for a reason. It's for the fourth quarter, and it helps us separate in that time.
Sometimes they're 3 hours.
Sometimes, yeah.
Dustin, you guys have not been in a close game that long, I think, in quite a while. What did you guys learn about yourselves being in one of those and being able to kind of put it away fairly early there in the fourth quarter, at least getting an edge there? What did you take out of that for you guys moving forward?
I think just understanding the importance of consistency. We have to be more consistent throughout all 4 quarters, and really just instill our will on everyone and come out and be aggressive from every quarter jump and continue all the way through. And I know that's one thing we want to work on, not just in the fourth quarter and not just when it's close.
Scott, were the third quarter, I think you shot 2 out of 17. Were the shots good shots, just not
Which
making
quarter?
It's third quarter.
Third quarter?
You were 2 of 17.
Yeah, that's how it felt.
Were the shots good shots and just weren't making them, or were just not taking good shots?
What do you guys think?
I think a few of them weren't good shots. I know I put up a few putbacks. I probably should have faked it up and kicked it out. But a lot of them were getting good looks and just missing.
Yeah, I thought we missed several layups, in the third quarter that I thought, could have, that was where
Separation.
we could have absolutely separated. The third quarter's been great for us all year, they came out and got 2 layups, they got deep post position right off the bat to start the second half and then scored at the rim the next possession. And then once again, they were the aggressor to start, a half. And it took us a while to get control of the game, but so I thought decent. One of the things I didn't feel like we did very well today was we didn't see the floor extremely well. And with the ability to pass the ball that this team has, that ball should be whipping all over the court. Our look should be wide open with this ability, with the talent that we have. And we were just a step slow, I thought, seeing the court most of the game to where our opportunities were contested.
This game was a lot more chippy than Utah, I felt like, but you think this kind of like chippiness will be like more towards like Pac-12? You think it was more just Colorado just being physical and that?
I loved it.
Pac-12.
I loved it, man. I thought this was exactly what we needed today, just like I thought Liberty was. I thought Miami was what we needed. I thought BYU was what we needed. This program's MO is to be tough and grind out wins. I mean, that's what we've done in forever, since we started winning, 6-7 years ago now. And so how many games have been like this where, it's been tight, contested through 3 quarters, and then we find a way to pull away and win it, through execution down the stretch. I mean, it's what you have to do in this conference. And so we're built for that. We're built to get the stop we need, and we're built to create the shot we need. And today we had to do that, and the way that we prepare for games, it is detail-oriented. It's for those moments. We're always preparing for the close game. They don't have to be close. We tell them that. They don't have to be close. But if they are, we're very comfortable, in those environments. So I thought today the physicality that they brought was, some games are going to be like that. That's preparing us for typical Arizona State. USC plays that way. You just, the Stanford game. I remember Marie talking to the team a couple years ago and saying, I told her one time in practice, Marie, will you tell your teammates? She was the only senior right on our team that year. Will you tell your teammates what it's like in the Pac-12 rebounding? She goes, you guys, when we play Stanford, we're just shoving each other, under the basket for rebounds. Like every shot we're shoving each other, and of course you're not literally shoving, but you are, in a way. You're holding position, you're gaining position, and it's so physical, And so for our 2 freshmen today, to be under that basket all day long against a group of posts that plays as physical and aggressive as Colorado's do, they needed this lesson today. We all did. And so it was awesome for us. Our guards, we got taught some lessons on the perimeter today because their guards crashed so hard. We gave up 18, help me with that, 16 offensive rebounds? 18 offensive rebounds to Colorado today. I mean, they shot 31%, so that means there's a lot of opportunities, but still they got 18. Down the stretch, it seemed like they got 4 attempts every possession in the last 3 minutes of the game, it seemed. And so, we've got a lot of progress to make still and a lot of growth. And like I've said every game, I mean, we're learning. This team is continuing to learn through wins. It's a great place to be, but today was perfect for what we needed.
Awesome.
All right.
Go Beavs.